All right. We're good. You got me? I can hear you. I had my reasons for being late. No, when you, let me just throw this to you as a tease. I'll go to the screen first. That box right there on the left. Mm-hmm. I've been working on it for the last 2.5 hours. Getting it set up for this broadcast. All right, now to the race. All right. So, yeah, it's going to be good, I think. So, all right. Nice. All right. Well, let's why that box. Oh, nice. I did not know that, but I will see it, though. All right. Well, I didn't get the points from, what's his name? Otherwise, oh, I mean, you sent them to me finally. By the way, key thing for you. Oh, geez, from Julian. This ought to be good. Fastest. Oh, you just told me that. I'll see. He sends me the freaking points from Dan Lisa, or whatever it's called now. Right. 29th to the last are bumped out. All right, so I'm bumped out already. All right, 10-4. Uh-huh. Okay. All right, I'm just going to shut that off for now. All right, you ready to go? All right, let's do this. Let me
You strong.
It is the Iowa Speedway, and it is race number 2 of Velocity Online Racing's Apex Stage Coaching IndyCar Series. We welcome you in tonight to what is going to be a very fun and we can almost say short track race tonight as we go racing for 200 laps around this near 1 mile oval here in the town of Newton, Iowa. I am the captain, Chris Scanners. We welcome you in tonight to the broadcast. Now, got some different things going on here this evening. We're going to start with the fun stuff. And that, of course, is my guest host, Gary Godsley, who joins us tonight. Now, Gary normally is out here racing in the VOR series, but Gary, unfortunately for you, you had a very important product break on it, and something that you need very well to participate in events here in the series, and because of that, we're not seeing you on the track this evening. Instead, you've decided to drop down lower and come join me.
Yeah, I rather would be out there under any other normal circumstances, but I'm glad to be up here to promote the league to everybody watching at home. Thank you very much. It's going to be an exciting time. This is a short track that races like a super speedway. You're going to see a lot of side-by-side racing tonight until the tires start going off. And then we're going to start seeing some people kind of hanging on for dear life, which kind of makes me glad I'm not out there tonight. But thanks for having me. Thanks for everybody for being here. And right now, my man Matt Houston is provisional pole with a 17.0 at the 187.344 miles per hour, around the 7/8 of a mile oval.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good right now. Let's bring the other fun part in. Hello and welcome into the Sunset Arctic Games 200 here at the Iowa Speedway here in Iowa. As Gary Gonzo joins us, he was just talking about Matt Houston being on the pole right now, the provisional pole, which is also the Circle B Graphics Pole Award. So we might be honoring that here in just a minute or so. But going to be a great race. What do we expect here at this Iowa Speedway? Because you mentioned it's a former race that was on the IRL, the IndyCar series until a couple years ago, well, now unfortunately it's not, or at least this season, but that doesn't mean we're going to have good racing tonight.
Yeah, it's on a couple seasons. I think it was on last year's schedule, but the pandemic kind of made it not possible. It didn't make this year's schedule, and then also kind of disappeared from all the coinciding NASCAR schedules as well, because there was leading questions to the future of the track. Track is still there. Track is still well under management and everything. They're just trying to find more folks to come back. And I believe either in the 2022 or at least the 2023 season at most, we will probably see this back on the real IndyCar schedule. There's not enough ovals on the schedule as it is, and this is one of the ovals that the guys, at least the league and the drivers, generally like. And it's not one of those big, scary ovals that they've shied away from the last couple of years, the big 1.5 mile high bank one. So this one brings a safer brand of oval racing to the IndyCar series, which is badly needed.
And Dakota DeMay just jumped up to the pole for qualifying, so we still got about 3 minutes left. Let's go ahead and we'll get it all up and running here for qualifying again for the Sunset Arctic Games 200, which, by the way, Dakota DeMay is the main sponsor of the series. So congratulations to him right now. Looking to see anyone else out there on the track.
Well, he struggled on his first lap. He smacked the wall, so he had to come back and do a really good comeback. In fact, his time. And now Julian went to the pole with a 17.009. Dakota's time was identical to Matt Houston's with a 17.074. In the Reddit League, which also I broadcast on Wednesday nights, Dakota started from the pole in that league, led most of the first stint until the tires went off. And then he struggled really for the rest of the race. So he's going to be doing a little bit of discovery tonight, trying to find out what went wrong in that first Reddit League race and try to apply it here and maybe stay up towards the front a lot closer than he did in the Reddit League race.
And Julian Altena jumps up even further, 16.949. That's a burner.
Yeah, it's 188.735. Morris to the top, 189.102.
Ooh, even faster the man goes. Isaac Morris with a pretty good lap. Shane Coogan out on track right now. Oscar Fredrickson to the pole at a 16.9.
Yeah, 189.280. So we are almost at 190 miles per hour
around this track.
On a track that's less than a mile in length.
That's nuts around this place. Gavin Sanders up to P3. Obviously, as you see, I'm working with some new stuff here tonight, so this is my first running with it. Did a couple of little test runs with it, but for qualifying, I can't say I've got some experience with it. So work with me on this, and we will be good. You'll see the fastest lap in the top right if somebody does cross the line. As a matter of fact, we see Alex Van de Sande is on track right now. I think he was out there.
Eli Sasek, who's a rookie in the league, is right now currently on the bubble on the 28th. So we got Van de Sande, Porcelli, Simmons, and Forsyth. Two of the drivers out there I know really well, Van de Sande and Forsyth, and they're more than capable of putting a car up in the top 28. And there's one. Sasek has been bumped, so he will not be making the race, unfortunately. And that's a shame. But 17.521 is actually a pretty decent lap.
And that's the one thing we should mention here in qualifying right now. The top 28 are advancing into the main race tonight. So we will have, what, 4 cars going home, 4 cars going home. I don't know how to count yet. And we got a rookie in here. We're waiting to see if he's going to run a lap. Corbin Simmons, who was excited to be here tonight, but now he's not ran a lap yet. We'll see if he goes out there. But
it looks like Hans Schlogel got bumped. Josh Stoltz, Eli Sasak, and Corbin Simmons has not taken time, and he has 20 seconds to go before the session is up.
He might have said, you know what, I don't think I'm going to be able to handle this tonight. His first race out here, as he was waiting to have some fun. He actually runs in another series that I broadcast for, and he was excited for this evening. So it looks like qualifying will wrap up, and we will hand over the pole award to the Matt Houston car. And yes, I know it's a stock car, so forgive me. I'm working on that one. But hey, the Matt Houston 17.075 second lap brought to you by the Circle B diecast. What's that?
Should be Oscar, wasn't it? On the pole?
Did it not update the Oscar? That's interesting. Maybe I got something wrong. I don't know. Is it Oscar on the pole? It's showing Matt on
yeah.
Interesting. Like I said, there's going to be some bugs, so Matt ain't on the pole. But anyways, yeah, let me see what I did wrong here, potentially. I'm learning this whole thing.
So I can, while you're doing that, I can just give everyone a starting lineup.
Go ahead.
Your pole sitter is my teammate Oscar Fredrickson with the 189.280 miles per hour in P1. Another kind of teammate of mine. He drives for me, Isaac Morris, 189.102 in P2. Gavin Sanders, my teammate, 188.750. Julian Altina, my teammate. So a good showing for VOR. I'm glad I'm not in the race because I would not been up with this group. It would have been like these three together and then Gary way in the back. But Julian, 188.735. One of the guys you want to look for, defending champion, wearing the number 1, Alex Van Asant, P5 with a 188.684. And Nicholas Sudik, P6 with a 188.124. Going back here, we got 2 laps to go before we go green here. Shane Coogan, P7, 187.736. Will Roberts, your first rookie, at P8, 187.735. The pole man, Dakota DeMaid, 187.346 and P9. Matt Houston, there he is, P10 with the 187.344. Their kind of corporate teammate, AJ Musselman, doing well, P11 with a 187.3253. And Kristen Nelson for LMC Gear, 186.954 in P12. We're back mid-pack now. Thomas Geisler, actually, he says its last name is said like Chrysler. Geisler, yes. So he's in P13 with the 186.661. From Germany, Sebastian Kinder, 186.614 in P14. Tyler Davala, he's another rookie. I'm not sure of his real name. I haven't restored them yet. Yeah, P15, 186.341. Cameron Bastian, 186.388. Greg Forsyth for LNC Gear, 186.093. And Max Williams in P18 for 186.1018. I'll go run through the last couple here before we get to green.
I'm on track.
We got Tom Richter in P19, James Watson P20, David Porcelli P21, Joe Harleman P22, Tyler Coogan, my man, in P23, and Christian Alexo P24. And rounding out the last 4 last spots here, we got, this is one of your guys, I'm not sure how to say his last name, Joseph Grzyalva, P25, Christopher Kresge, the RIL League admin, P26, John Christensen, P28, and Ryan Eric King for Team Apex Sage, P28. He rounds out the 28-car field.
Now, I want to mention, I've realized that what's going on now, we've been invaded by the Team YJ Racing eSports. That's Tyler Davala and Corbin Simmons and Max Williams. They all come a Friday night league known as Blown Piston Racing League into VOR. So that is where those guys come from. When you start saying the names, I'm like, wait a minute, I know the rest of these names too. But either way, 200 laps tonight around this Iowa Speedway here in Newton. We hope you enjoy the night and work through the bugs with me here as we go racing on a short track or a short oval here on Captain TV.
Great jump by Oscar. He wants to get out in front of everybody, getting that clean air because tire wear is going to be at a premium. We've got 2 other VOR cars in P3 and 4 side by side going down the backstretch.
Down into turn 3 and 4, as you mentioned, it is going to be a battle of track position here early because the way these cars get around this track, the dirty air is very dirty.
And the field is extremely strung out right now, while Oscar's entering turn 3. P27, P28 are just entering turn 2.
How are we looking tire-wise here, Gary? Obviously, I know in real life they go, what, about 50 or 60 laps around the track. How are we looking when it comes to the track today?
It's really going to be very similar to that tonight. That I've seen some teams say that it's going to be 50, 150, 200 to do their stops. One of the different twists that we have tonight that we haven't seen in VOR recently is we do have tire limits. Actually, there are real limits for tires for real in IndyCar racing, but you don't really hear them talk about them. But tonight, they are limited to 5 sets of tires in the pits, so they're actually in 6 sets, 1 in the car and 5 in the pits when they start this race. So they're going to have to limit how well they use those tires. And these cars, you will see when these tires start wearing off, they will be 2 seconds a lap slower. The second they put on new tires, they will be that just much quicker. And the pitting earlier here pays off more than it does pitting later.
There's Isaac Morris in the second position. You got Julian there in third. Alex Van de Sant here in the 6th spot to see battles. Nicholas Sudik for position tonight. Don't have our traditional track cams for Gourmet to offer us, but they do have the onboard cameras here tonight, so we appreciate them, of course, being on board as we ride with Alex Van de Sant here in the number 1, the champion, the winner, not to mention, from last week. 6th position for him. Right behind him, you got Will Roberts, as you mentioned, Shane Coogan, AJ Musselman, Travis Geisler. There I go referencing Roger Penske guys again. That is Thomas Geisler. I'm sure I think he complimented me last time I said that.
He said that you say his name like it's Chrysler, but Geisler.
Right, Geisler.
Yes.
But it's the fact that Travis Geisler is I believe a team owner or principal or something for the Penske team.
Oscar and Isaac are trying to run away and sprint to the front here, get away from everybody.
That's a good way to do it here, as Oscar's led all 9 laps so far in this race. Watching top.
You'll see they have 2 different lines. You'll see they have 2 different lines through the corners. The bottom line on the yellow really is not the fastest way around. It's the shortest way around, but it's definitely not the fastest way around. You'll find the second line, especially when these cars getting in side-by-side battles when they're looking to make passes, the car in the higher line actually has the better line. Oh, Isaac pushed up into the wall a little bit there, had to recover, and it's going to cost him some space on the racetrack.
Yeah, he's right there, about 0.6 of a second back from Oscar Fredrickson. Now, obviously, this track very notorious for multi-groove racing, multi-banking on this track from 12 to 14 degrees.
Yep.
Yeah, progressive banking, in other words. How is that going to work with these cars, you think? I mean, is it going to be a one-groove race? You think they're going to be able to move up or move down? Is Craig Forsyth?
No, they're going to move up.
Scheduled pit stop for Forsyth.
Oh, no, that's not good for him. They're going to move up. When we saw the Reddit League race here, as tires were new, they were down on the yellow. As the tires wore off, they slowly started moving up about a half lane at a time, of about 10 laps or so, until they are finally kind of all running at the top right at the end of the stint. And like I said, the first person to really jump into the pits is going to be at an advantage here, because they're going to put on that new set of rubber there, and they are going to be 2 seconds or more a lap faster than everybody else on the track.
This here a battle for the 7th position. Will Roberts trying to hold off the likes of Shane Coogan there in that 29 car. Shane, a really good road racer, or oval racer, I should say.
Yeah, he is, as oval specialists go, and I've seen him run on road courses. He's getting a lot better on road courses, but he's among the best oval IndyCar racers that I've seen, that of those type of drivers that haven't made the jump to the top split type races yet. But he's definitely, I think he definitely has the skill set to go compete with those guys.
And I remember Shane, I think it was an Auto Club race a couple of seasons ago in this series, had a winning car potentially, and had a chance to win that and wasn't able to do so. But we know he's definitely got the talents to watch in this series, as you mentioned, not only on the ovals but on the road courses.
Get Isaac now. Isaac has gone up to the 3rd lane now. He's up there considerably higher than Oscar.
And that's because you're trying to get to cleaner air is what you're doing. You're trying to get out there and you're trying to get air on the nose because these cars are so turbulent air-wise. It's just crazy how that works.
It's a two-pronged thing. Yes, getting clean air, and also really just keeping your momentum up on that high line and having the car pinch down at the apex. Basically kind of freeing the car up to kind of keep that speed up from not being scrubbed off. And now Oscar is coming up to the tail end of the field. He has Christopher Kresge immediately in front of him. And now he's going to start feeling that aero push that he hasn't felt all day long yet.
Which is usually where you see that whole deal where the field will spread out and then come back together like a rubber band almost. And it's a really, really interesting thing. Didn't get a chance to check out the weather here for the race this evening. It is 77 degrees, air temp 83 on track. Relative humidity of 56 miles an hour and the wind blowing, I would say likely, I think that's, if I remember how the track is shaped, it'll be across turn 2 over towards the front straightaway here tonight. The weather for this evening's race. And while we're going real quickly, I got the graphics fixed. There's your pole winner, Oscar Fredrickson, Circle B Diecast pole award. As, of course, I go full screen on something I wasn't trying to go full screen on. Use code Foxworth Autosports to get free shipping on orders over $20 at CircleBDiecast.com to get a great NASCAR IndyCar diecast.
3 wide.
Oh, and, of course, we go 3 wide as I'm reading this, but go figure. They do ship to continental U.S. and Canada, but big shout-out to Circle B Diecast. Wanted to make sure I got their mention in here this evening. We appreciate what they do. Of course,
like Isaac got the pass on Oscar through traffic when they went 3 wide with the lap car of, I think it was John Christensen. It caused Oscar kind of to let up a little bit, and Isaac got the run. He's still hanging on to P2. Christensen is now getting lapped by 3rd and 4th place, and he is riding up against the wall, so he needs to hang on.
Let's see. Oh, no, we have our first cat incident of the season. Craig Forsyth. His cat decided to drop a squat right on the keyboard, and a million windows took over his computer, and bada bing, into the wall he goes. So the cat bringing the first caution now as we look at the not the first caution, the first wreck. But here's the 3 wide move from Oscar and Isaac. They go underneath that red and white, I think it's a target paint scheme, and that just gives Isaac the outside lane, as you mentioned, and that gives him the lead right there. So
cats have a knack of wanting to come visit you at the most inopportune time.
It's always during the race.
Oh, Christopher Kresge kind of up in the wall in turn 4 there. Kind of recovers a little bit.
And this is where you get into, one car up the track there. One of the VOR cars is that, trying to see if that's the 10. I couldn't tell if that was Gavin or not.
Isaac's got himself out a 2.2-second lead, which is like an eternity right now.
Yeah, Isaac is gone already. Just showing that he's definitely, I mean, and he kind of told me, he was the one that I talked to last, it was Wednesday night after the TI, or Tuesday night after the TI race. He was like, yeah, this is, if somebody gets away here with the lead, it's going to be over with. I'm like, well, that's not good, but you know what? That's why we race. Anything can happen. There's Julian Altenayer in the 3rd place. Gavin Sanders here in 4th. He's trying to hold off Alex Van de Sant for the 5th position. An awesome looking purple and white VOR livery now that's on the car.
So they are about, I'd say 20 laps from the earliest window for pit stops to open up here.
Lap number 31 already complete.
And there's a yellow. There's a caution right there.
Caution is out. Caution out for the first time. And, one car on the inside. That's the 22. And another car involved. It's Krista
Nelson.
Yep, Krista Nelson. Tyler Coogan involved. First yellow of the night. Let's go back. Oh, big wreck, actually. This is going to take 4 or 5 cars out from what I'm seeing here.
See the replay on this one happen.
See how this all transpires here.
Yeah, everybody's going to pit. Everybody's going to pit. Don't worry about it. And no one's staying out.
Yeah, if you stay out here, we're going to think.
Wow. Four cars going sideways across the start-finish line. Wow. What happened?
Trying to see where it starts. Oh, one car catches the wall here. That purple car, is that Krista, I think? I could be wrong, but it's that purple livery car. But they just chain reaction right into her after that. And they scatter from there. It was Krista, by the way, who did catch the wall there. Amongst others, John Christensen, Tyler Coogan, I think Joel Harlman's the other car involved. And all had to tow. Nope, John Christensen actually went to pit road, I think.
Wow, cars in that particular incident.
We'll let's look at it one more time here. And again, appreciate everybody working with me tonight as I'm finagling as we broadcast with the settings and graphics and all this stuff. And wow, one car went to the grass there. And Coogan was involved, as I mentioned. Nelson, Harlman to the pits. Yeah, so a lot of cars involved in that. Now, Cameron Bostaine.
We did have someone. Yeah, we had someone that stayed out, and that is not. I don't know, man. I'm going to say that's not a very smart move.
See if we can get him back to the pits here really quickly. We'll show you the pit stops.
I think Kresge's going to get the wave around here. That will get him back on the lead lap.
And Isaac did win the race off pit road, and Oscar, a slow stop for him, but he did somehow keep second. Coming off pit road there, Julian almost got him, so we got a VOR line, third, fourth, fifth. But Cameron Bostaine has stayed out. Isaac Morris there, P2, right now as we come back to the restart. Next time by, lap number 34.
Yeah, to be frank with you, Chris, he has an R next to his name for a reason. That is not a smart move. That is not a money-paying move right there. What he might be kind of banking is that there's another immediate yellow and that he may maybe dive back into the pits and he'll be up among the leaders and everything. He is going to get passed by the time the first lap or two is over. Isaac is going to make very short work with them, especially with tires that are 34 laps, 35 laps old.
Pace car light's still on here, so I want to take a look real quickly. We haven't had a chance to do this tonight at the wrong one. Let's take a look at the get this all off the screen here. The track map and stuff, what Iowa Speedway looks like. Honestly, just shy of a mile oval. First visit here. There you see where the pit entrances and stuff are. You have to cross over on the middle of the back straightaway down to the apron all the way around to pit road, and then obviously turn 2 will be the exit of pit road on this track that has 12 to 14 degrees of banking. And as I mentioned, first visit here, so no one's won here yet. Who will be the first?
Yeah, it's progressive banking, so it's 10 degrees, or excuse me, 12 degrees down low, 14 degrees up high. Front stretch is 10 degrees, back stretch is banked just a little at 4 degrees. But IndyCar has been coming here for quite a while until they stopped coming on this particular go-around on the schedule. There's a wave around for Kresge. But the track record is a 17.283 by Helio Castro Neves, and, well, you saw them beating that in qualification. Yeah. So these cars are faster in sim form than they are in real life, and that was set in 2014 with the DW12 car.
And he's obviously the IR18s, they're called in iRacing, but they're still obviously fast cars, and you know, you're seeing the speeds tonight. You're seeing the racing going on. It's been a lot of fun to watch here this evening so far at the virtual Iowa Speedway here on iRacing. Appreciate all the viewers watching tonight, 18. And we are about to go green. Cameron Bostaine, the world is watching you, no offense.
And he is leaving that right side open for Isaac to take it right away if he wants.
And now he shuts the door on him. He's going to bring him slowly to the green.
Very slow. Okay, here we go. And we'll see how long he can keep this lead.
He's doing okay.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
He made a clean start, so we'll give him credit for that. That could, in a stock car, that's
here,
not going to be fun.
And here comes the run. Here comes the run right here.
Yep.
Inside, and
not clear.
You can only do that with new tires. You cannot do that with used tires at all.
He's going to battle. I wonder if he's thinking track position might outweigh this. Very impressive here so far. This is 33 lap fresher tires, and now Isaac clears them. Yep.
There he goes. Yeah, it took about 2 laps. I figured it would
maybe
not take that many.
Tire pressures up to 10 maybe.
And here comes Oscar and Julian and Gavin. Boom, 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 right in a row. So he's going to get shuffled back to into the grips of Van de Sant here really soon. All the while, this is allowing Isaac to kind of pull away.
And Julian working the middle groove, Oscar to the bottom. Yep. 40 laps in here. You see Isaac Epi stretching out already to a second.
Yeah, he pushed up, he pushed up, he pushed up. That's going to, wow.
Which is, you would, obviously, the dirtier the air gets for this car, the worse it's going to feel.
Yes, absolutely, and especially with those old tires, it's going to feel awful.
Right. Gavin Sanders is going to come up on him. Here comes Alex Van de Sant, as I mentioned. Nicholas Sudik. He's going to fight, though. He's in the line. Oh, he's a little up the track here. Almost caught the wall. You got to be careful there. Alex going to go by. Here comes Sadiq in that 87. Oh, no. He is getting closer to that wall. Molly Hatchet, he's flirting with disaster. What?
The tail end kicks out, yeah. I know what you're talking
he's
about.
He's fighting it. I mean, I had to throw a Molly Hatchet reference in there, but this guy's flirting with it. I mean, he's up there with the marbles, if there are any on the track still. Dakota's going to go by, but needless to say, I mean, credit to him for fighting. He's done a good job for what he put himself in. He did a great job handling it. I'll give him that. Gavin Sanders trying to hold off Alex Van de Sant here for the 4th position.
Maybe if it was 5 laps ago, I would take that gamble, but not with that early into the race. And what you do also there is you put everyone else around you kind of at risk when you have an ill-handling car, hitting that wall, coming back down, kind of like what Krista did, collecting 3 or 4 other cars. That would have been unfortunate if that happens, and hopefully it doesn't happen as people kind of cycle him back towards the rear. Also, he needs to get himself in a position where he needs to get a pit stop here in the next probably 10 laps or so.
Yeah, I don't.
This is lap 45 of his current stint.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on the move part. Was it the right move at the right time? No. But I think for him putting himself in that position, he's done a great job of not putting himself in a position to wreck and take half the field with him. So from that standpoint, yeah, I do agree. No, it was not the right time to do it. As Cameron's falling back to 8th. He's in the clutches now of Thomas Geisler back there in the 9th position.
Oh, here comes AJ Musselman underneath Geisler there.
AJ taking advantage of the dirty air that's been affected on that Sunset Arctic Games car.
So there seems to be a bit of an equidistance gap between the cars in front of Cameron and the cars behind Cameron. I'm wondering if everyone's kind of just like, nah, let's give this guy a little bit extra room here at this point in time too.
Is it that, or are the tires maybe equaling out?
They should be plenty fast.
You would think.
They're what, 17 laps in this stint. They did most of them under, so they should be still much faster, much more faster than his current tires right now.
Gavin
but
Sanders,
he is light.
Sorry, Gavin's gone by Julian for the 3rd position here. Now Alex Van de Sant's on his high side. So Julian right now going to, and Alex is up the track. That was going to be close, I thought. Back there, it looked like Sadiq almost caught the wall. We ride with Alex, the champion. Sorry.
Poor Craig's kind of in a bit of a damaged mode right now, where he's just riding that high line, trying to avoid getting in people's way.
Alex in the 4th position there behind. Gavin Sanders about 3.5 behind Isaac Morris. Forsythe still out there on the track. He's going to gain a couple positions here in a minute.
Sure is.
Yeah, he's 24 laps down. Coogan, Harlman, both off the track. Kristen Nelson into pits. Still getting her truck. There we go. Her IndyCar worked on. I'll never fix that.
So put a dollar in the jar.
Oh, that jar's rich by now. That's going to college.
Got a car coming into the pits there. I'm not sure who that was. That might have been John Christensen.
It is John Christensen coming to the pits. Yep.
They are just all stacked up behind Cameron.
Here's Dakota DeMay, the sponsor of tonight's race, the Sunset Arctic Graphics 200 here at the virtual Iowa Speedway. If you haven't had a chance to yet, he's got multiple video games out on Steam now. One called Voltic Pistol, and I know Echo Blade, if it's not been released yet, it's in the works.
Coming soon.
Any
Coming
minute.
soon,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's making sure it comes out like perfect for everyone. So credit to him for having the patience to do that. So that is definitely, again, going to be a fantastic game to check out.
And you can get that on Steam.
Yeah, on Steam, yes. All right, 58 laps in. We've seen one caution so far in this race. Isaac Moore is leading Oscar Fredrickson. There is Isaac up front here, 2.8 seconds or so out.
Also haven't stopped and still on their first stint. It's Christopher Kresge. He's 57 laps into his current stint.
Yeah, I noticed, and he got the wave around. That was probably
He
part
got
of
the
it.
wave around, yeah.
So,
Yep.
but yeah, he's still on his first stint here. But there's Cameron still holding on to 10th position now. So he looks like he's leveled out right there in the 10th position. Now, I didn't get a chance to see where he was running at the time of the caution to see if he had gained or lost any kind of positions prior to that decision he made. But say if he was running like 15th or 20th, he's net gained 5 to 10 spots right now.
In his current position, he's up 6 from where he started. So he started in 16th or 17th.
So it's safe to say he's probably net gained from this so far then, because with it being so tough to pass, I mean, here's the proof for you. Take a look at the big movers in this race so far. I mean, you got Ryanair King up 7 spots. There's Bostaine up 6. Geisler up 5 in this race so far. So it's been tough moving. It's not like what you're going to see in the race after this tonight as we raise money for breast cancer awareness at Talladega. They're going to be going from 17th to 1st like Earnhardt.
Now, as the sun goes down, the temperature of the track will go down as well. It's certainly still holding steady at 83 degrees, the 77-degree ambient temperature. But as it gets darker, the track will get more grip. Might help those tires later in the race.
It's going to create
but
more
at some
grip.
point, at some point, he's going to have to. Cameron's going to have to pit here soon. And AJ, frankly, AJ and Coogan know that behind him, and they might just be like, you know what, he's just going to pull out of his way, our way for us anyway. So let's just not lose time as much as possible. Just stick to behind him and watch him make that turn on the pit road. And it's a very slow pit road speed here, and it's a very dangerous pit road. They have to enter off of turn 3 onto the apron, and pit road speed here is like 45 miles an hour or something.
I believe it is.
Incredibly slow to Indy cars, and the Indy cars are going to feel like they are just sitting still, and they will lose about 3 laps, if not more, on a green flag pit stop.
We were watching this battle between Thomas Geisler and Will Roberts about a half second now. It was down to about 0.2 of a second. But looks like Tom is starting to kind of balance that out a little bit here in the battle for the 8th and 9th positions. Shout out to the viewers tonight. I know I haven't had a chance to say hello. We appreciate everybody watching this evening. Of course, Joe Gajalma watching from El Paso, Texas. Rowena, of course, I was told I had to say your name, but I've got to go back and look at it again. So if I got your name wrong, I apologize. Corbin Simmons, unfortunately, caught the wall both laps we've learned in qualifying. That's why he did not qualify. Of course, we know about Craig's cat issues and more. So we appreciate all the viewers watching tonight. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you're not new, we do appreciate you coming to join us at least for the race. As we have had a pass for 3rd and now a pass for 2nd. Alex Van de Sande pass Oscar Fredrickson. I was just about to say Alex has gone to 3rd, but he has put both the VOR cars. So they're getting stuck out here in this dirty air. The car kind of getting tight probably. They're trying to work the jacker and so on and so forth, but the champ,
Matt Houston goes a lap down too out of this too.
Yeah, there's Matt. Yep, right there, going a lap down into 66. Not the best start of a season for him. Last week he struggled mightily at Auto Club. I was waiting for him to show up in the top 10, and it never happened.
He'll be all right.
Oh, of course he will. He's a great driver, but, you know, I'm just pointing out the obvious here. So Oscar now got his teammate here behind him. Gavin Sanders, and then Julian Altena is only about 8/10 back. 72 laps in the books. Only the one yellow so far. Been a fairly clean race. A lot of good racing out here. As you see Julian looking underneath Oscar. Oscar able to hold that high line.
Green flag pit stop. Oh no, that is Cameron saying that he is pitting this time by. So he has not given up a lot of track position. Going to give up a lot more. Here he comes. Green flag pit stop for him. He needs to bring that car down and get it onto the very treacherous pit road.
You also got Cameron Bostino coming to pit road. Here he is in the Texas car.
And there it is. Yep.
Actually, you know what I've just realized? I'm so focused on the new graphics and stuff. I did not update the paints. My apologies to everybody. Hopefully you guys don't have new paints on your cars. You're going to notice a bunch of paint schemes switching here very quickly. So it should be 4 tires and fuel, and there he goes, pulling away. And he's still in the Texas car, so I don't feel so bad now.
That put him, as the leaders come around,
about 2 laps down, probably at least.
2 laps down, and there's Isaac right behind him to put him a 3rd lap down here. Now, here's the thing: his tires. He's gonna be absolutely the fastest car on the racetrack now.
Oh, he's gonna blow by people.
So he is gonna start blowing by people.
Then you see the Christian Alasia number 81 car, 18th position. He's gone a lap down. Next in line will be James Watson. And if you can't find James Watson's car, just look for the bright, multicolored one. Oh, I found it. And it's an awesome looking paint, by the way. I do kind of like it.
It's reminiscent of one of the old Menard paint jobs back from the late 80s, early 90s. Let's see, Cameron went 74 laps on that first stint.
So that means he'll be able to go another 74, 75 laps with that one yellow. That gets in the 150 to 160 range. So it's a one-stopper for him. And the rest of this field pitting. Could that have been the strategy behind this?
Possible.
But you're definitely putting a lot on the line for this race to stay caution-free. And that's no offense to these guys. Fantastic racers, but
we've had seen some races go caution-free here before.
Oh, absolutely.
And not necessarily in this particular league, but I've seen RRL go not quite caution-free, but low cautions. I've been in some other league races that I've raced here. I've been low cautions. I think some of the official series was here not too long ago. And there was very few cautions on a lot of those races as well. Maybe this homework said, hey, I'm expecting us to do maybe a caution early, and then I'm going to stay out, and then there'll be not as many cautions late, and I'll be able to make up all that position on fresh tires, and then also make up the remainder of positions while people are going into the pits.
Saw we were on board there for a split second with David Corselli. David in the 11th position right now. I want to give him a shout out because he wrecked on lap 1 in his first career race last week. And you couldn't help but feel terrible for the guy as he made a mistake. Let's put it like that. He got up the track and got into Isaac Morris and took them both out. And just a rookie mistake, unfortunately. That will happen.
Yeah, he should have had an EOL for this race. So I don't know if he had that or not, but he had an EOL. Anthony Concha, who didn't make this race, had an EOL. Matt Houston actually had an EOL. That's another reason that's kind of hurt him as well, all from that race. Apparently, I missed a lot of action that happened in that race.
Take a look at the YJ Esports rookies here. Starting with Tyler Davala. The 7 car there is, 3 wide back here. 1 car's on the apron. Is that Isaac down there?
That was your leader on the apron.
Good
right there.
Grief.
That was your leader on the apron, and I got to tell you, I mean, Craig had nowhere to go. It's those other guys running side by side that need to be cognizant that the leaders are around you, and you cannot do stupid stuff like that. And 3 wide and having to force the leader down to the apron, man, if I was Isaac, I'd be a little upset right now.
Well, thankfully, cooler heads prevailed out of that whole thing. So Davala goes a lap down, so is his teammate Max Williams in the 8 car. AJ Musselman is now on the tail end to lead lap, so 13 cars on the lead lap in this race. As we are 89 laps in, we're going to be coming up closely on green flag pit stops. And what we're going to do is we're going to step away for a quick minute, and we're going to come back, more racing here on Captain TV as you're watching the VOR IndyCar Series, the Sunset Arctic Graphics 200. All right, here we are back at the Iowa Speedway as we are racing 94 laps into this 200-lap race as Isaac Morris continues to lead, and we have got a whole bunch of, shall we call it, oval argy-bargy going on?
Yeah, from right around 4th spot where Oscar is, there's a lot of traffic. Some of it's laps, some of it's racing for position, and they are just all nose to tail. Pretty tight quarters in through there.
Julian Alton and Nicholas Sudik, and there's Dakota DeMay making a pass on Julian right now for the 6th position. So Julian, unfortunately, is falling back after his great starting position tonight.
And Julian can recover.
Julian definitely has the drivability to recover and that kind of thing. And as a matter of fact, Julian's going to come to pit road now. I think he's going to try some undercutting here.
Right, he is going to try the undercut here, and he knows that the first car to make the road to turn to pit road is going to be 2 seconds a lap faster than everyone else around him. So this is a very calculated move, a very ballsy one, not one that I don't disagree with. I think this is a great move. We're going to see. Here come some other folks.
I was saying, does that bring everybody else to pit road making this kind of move? And Will Roberts is on pit road. Matt Houston in the pits. As you mentioned, a snail's pace of a pit speed.
Very good. He hits a spot. Right on his marks.
His pit crew are properly dressed for the occasion.
Right.
4 tires,
it's a hot night there, so they got to,
8.4 seconds, by the way.
And a great stop. And then what he has to do here is under control, bring that car up to speed with that apron. It's very slippery. And he comes out right in front of, okay, it's actually Ty Richter, not Isaac. So he didn't lose a lot of time, but he is going to be the fastest car on the racetrack right now. And look at it as he goes on the outside, right around Dakota, like he's standing still.
Now Alex Van de Sant coming to pit road, the first of the leaders. Now Isaac Morris is coming down pit road also in the 63, as there goes Sadiq out of pit road.
Oh, look at Julian. He is just passing everybody up the high side here. He's going to be, oh, look at this. Look at this, 3 wide in turn 2. Wow.
I didn't get to see it, unfortunately, as we were watching Alex. I'm trying to find Julian on my screen. There he is, as Julian just flies by people like they're parked. And Sadiq now has tires on him. So here's going to be the first battle for position right here with Nicholas Sadiq and Julian Alton. And Julian's going to say, Linda Ronstadt blew by you. And
well, he's been using that high side for like the last 3 laps, so he's used up to that right now, running up that close to the wall. And I think that kind of paid off for him in that situation, getting around Sudik, because Sudik has been kind of running that same middle line and was kind of expecting the car to go underneath him, and Julian just goes up a lane higher and passes him on the high side.
Dakota DeMay, the leader now. He comes to pit road. David Porcelli's going to go to the lead now. There you go. How about wrecking on lap 1 of last week? Unfortunately, now you're going to lead a lap. So congratulations there. That's cool. Give him credit for that. That leaves Porcelli, Geisler, Grijalva, Richter, and Ryan Eric King right now. The first not on new tires. And meanwhile, you got this mess of a pack in turn 2. That has Alex Van de Sant there in his updated paint scheme. Sorry about that, Alex. His chili mix. And he is going to go underneath of Isaac here. This is the battle for what's going to be the eventual lead right here. This is for third right now, and they are on the lead lap. As you see, with everybody cycling around, Ty Richter now to the lead.
Yeah, on 72 laps on his current stint. But problem what's happening with him right now is he is just giving up time now. He needs to pit.
Are you saying he ought to pit tie after tie? I mean, time after time?
Well, and he has his teammate around him, so he's got that dilemma too. So he's got to let them by. And I would
don't go 4 wide, please.
I would imagine that he's making that dive right here, right now. There it is. And there's another
one car up against the wall as I thought they were going to go 4 wide down the back straightaway. I'm like, no, not an IndyCar, please.
So the battle now is back at the front where these two, you have Van de Sant and Isaac are.
Yeah, Isaac's starting to stretch it out.
Mere tenths of a seconds away from each other. And then a little bit further back is P3, where you have, who's P3 right now?
P3 is Gavin Sanders, yeah. Got Gavin here. P3 is coming up on the back. I think that's Geisler there in that orange and blue car. And then he's got about 3 seconds or so, 2.3 to be exact, back to Sudik. And then Julian Alton is another second back. Your best battle on the track is actually these 3 cars here, 6th, 7th, and 8th. As you have Oscar Fredrickson, Dakota DeMay, Shane Coogan, all these guys here. Actually, I should say it's only 2 of them. Dakota and Shane basically battling it out here.
So if we go back up to the leaders real quick, you'll notice that Isaac is right down there, about a half a lane off the yellow line. But look the difference in lane choice between himself and Van de Sant. Van de Sant is taking a much more conservative line, so he's putting a lot less wear on his tires.
And Alex is one that's very notorious as he runs the bottom lane here. Of course, he knows I'm talking about how he likes to run the high lane. Alex is one that he's taught me, like when you come to like a track like Auto Club, where we were last week. I remember when I ran and made my debut in the series at Auto Club. I mean, he was running a high, wide Kyle Larson line, and I'm like, what are you doing up there? And he was telling me, and I'm like, makes sense. So I tried it, and it was starting to work and stuff, and here he is running the bottom. Or should we call it the Julian Alton line in this league? Because Julian seems to, no matter where he goes, finds the high line.
Especially in those 2-mile ovals, I've adopted the high line too. It seems to be the OP line right now until they decide to change. Leader right around. That is David
Porcelli.
Okay, Porcelli.
Porcelli, yeah.
He was almost pushed up right into him.
So that puts now 8 cars on the lead lap here.
Oh, that's Joseph. That's your friend Joseph
Grijalva.
Grijalva. Yeah, he almost pushed up into him.
Oh, and one car on the inside wall here. That's John Christensen, I believe. That is the target car. Has unfortunately nailed the bullseye in the infield wall.
But here comes a battle for the lead.
Yep.
Isaac.
You said it. Isaac coming for the lead, or Isaac losing the lead to Alex. Oh, he almost hit the wall.
Yeah, Alex might have got a little wheel touch there on the wall.
And look at the mess in front of them. Short oval racing here in the IndyCar series. Oh, boy.
Yeah, short oval that races like a super speedway.
Yeah. And as you see, it's going way fast for me, too. I'm seeing wrecks in them. Oh, look out.
Kresge about taps the wall. You could hear them in turn 3 off the power trying to to not run into, the closing rate. That's what I'm talking about. The closing
Right.
rate. These cars are so quick. They're off power, just trying not to run into the car in front of them.
Ooh, Alex almost chopping the nose of Isaac there. He left him a little bit of room.
I often kid Alex. I say Alex out there is playing chess while the rest of us are kind of playing checkers. He's a very cerebral driver and, doing things like running the high line, running fuel mileage. Those are some of his. I mean, he's a great driver as it is, and he can win in his outright. But I mean, some of these little added things that you kind of look at the real drivers of the world, like a Scott Dixon or something like. He's about as cerebral as Scott Dixon when it comes to a lot of things.
And when you look at it, you know where Isaac, here, all right, there's first one of the night. I called Alex Isaac. Way to go. Apologize to both. Alex went to school.
That would be Purdue, right?
He is a Boilermaker. Of course, you got an engineering degree and all that stuff when you go to Purdue. You got to be a pretty, not saying you don't have to be smart to go to college or anything like that, but Purdue, like, you're smart if you go to Purdue and get an engineering degree and stuff like that. So obviously, I'm saying that Alex is a smart fellow.
Well, racing's a big part of the Purdue culture up there because they have Grand Prix weekend where they actually, the fraternities and sororities and a lot of other organizations, the dorms and whatnot, will do go-kart racing.
Yeah, was it the Purdue Grand Prix? I'm trying to remember what they call it.
It's Grand Prix weekend. It's a much like along the lines of like Little Five weekend at IU or Trike weekend at ISU or Tandem weekend at ISU. And that's a big part of the racing is a big part of the Purdue culture. And actually, my daughter is looking at Purdue as one of her choices of schools next year.
Now, I actually, one of my first events I went to when I moved to Lafayette and started doing radio there was the Purdue Grand Prix race. Because obviously being a racing guy, I was like, I got to go to the race. So we went to it, me and a buddy, and it was really cool seeing all the guys work on the cars and doing all that. And it was definitely a fun race to be a part of.
So here's something cool. I get to call a race with you once a week every now and then, and you are by far a celeb on the internet, whatnot. But I actually got to call a race with one better, and I'm not putting you down a spot, but once I tell you the name, you'll be like, oh yeah. So when I was doing the tricycle races, which is basically just it's a modified BMX frame running 3 wheels. This was at Indiana State. I was in charge of the race, and we needed to bring in a play-by-play person for the PA. And at the time, the sports director for Terre Haute, one of their TV stations, was Mike King, who, if sounds familiar, he later became the voice of the Indy Racing League. And he had to leave early on that first race, and so I'm sitting there next to him, and he's like, you want to call like the last 5 laps? And he just hands me the PA mic, and he takes off, and I get to call the last 5 laps. So actually, I got to call a race with Mike King.
That's awesome. Good story. Yeah, Mike King, I believe, was he was doing the PA the day we did the, not celebrity, but the media challenge. They used to, every Wednesday of the Indy 500, they would open a track up to media members, and they would do a pit stop challenge, but you'd also be able to drive on the track. And we went down there and, of course, went up against the monsters of TV and radio. And that was definitely a lot of fun. I believe Mike was the PA guy, one of the races there. I know Bob Jenkins was the other one, which, man, I hope that guy gets better and hopefully works out with him. But
I used to work with him, too. I used to work with his wife. It was my very first IT job with a company she co-owned.
So 7 cars on the lead lap now.
Yeah, starting to run down there. There's a number of cars. There's more green flag. And you know what? We're going to have green flag stops coming up here in the next 20 laps or so.
Well, we got, Cameron Bostian, 54 laps on his tires. Kresge, is that how you said it? You haven't listened to how you've been saying it. Kresge. Sorry, Chris. I'm getting your name wrong forever.
He's on 59 right now.
Yep. So 31 tires on the 31 stops on the leaders. But what fantastic racing here. And a battle for 6th right here. Oscar Fredrickson and Shane Coogan. And I see Will Roberts took his car behind the wall, by the way, too. He was over in chat, and he mentioned he caught the wall a little bit, could continue, but didn't want to risk anybody wrecking out and stuff. So classy move on Will's part. And we'll hopefully see him back next week. But the fight is on for the 3rd position here. Coogan trying to clear Oscar. And one thing I've noticed about the VOR cars, Gary, is they're not the best long-run cars. I've been noticing Oscar falls off, Julian falls off, Gavin falls off, apparently in the long run there. So I'm not sure if they're running similar maybe settings and stuff like that, but they just seem to be falling back.
Yeah, I did. I really didn't practice much with the team this week. I tried pulling out the old wheel and going from a direct drive wheel to a belt-driven wheel. It's not the same. So.
Oh, and there goes Oscar a lap down.
Yeah, I just did like 20 laps just to kind of get a feel of things, and it was no good for me. So I do know the guys had a strategy. They were going to stick to it, but they are hard chargers, and here hard charging at this track is not rewarded very well. You need to bide your time, and this is probably a track that might actually would have played into my strategy of just kind of maintaining your pace, but staying up with the leaders, not getting down a lead lap, and allowing the track to come to you as you go late into the run. But we see the leaders are well embedded right now into lap traffic as it is.
Yeah, they definitely got a mess on their hands. Take a look at the race summary so far in this race. One caution, as I mentioned, for 5 laps. Still got 28 cars on the track. That means, or no, that's not 28 cars on the track.
25. We got
25 on the track. 28 started the race. Fastest lap of the race, Isaac, with a 17.6. As somebody's on pit road. I just saw a VOR car coming to pit road. It is Julian Altina. So here we go. The final round of pit stops, at least under green, right now.
Yep, so he's doing the under again, and we did see where he was by far the fastest car when he came up to speed with those new tires. But quickly, everyone kind of followed suit. Once they saw him dive, they were going back into the pits. Looks like Gavin's already there.
Yeah, Gavin's on pit road also. Looking to see Gavin has been, that's an extended stay for Gavin. He's been there for 40 seconds. So
and he might have got flagged for speeding there, and that is going to be costly. There he goes. He's pulling out now.
So the obvious question I'm about to ask you, how do you speed when you have a pit road limiter?
Well, it's it's a game of how close you can get to that line and how fast that you can hit that line at. Sometimes you can hit the line and you can be a mile per hour over and the system will take it. Other times you can be a mile per hour over and the system won't take it. What I have found is that tracks that tend to be configured for like an IndyCar oval tend to be more forgiving on the oval versus tracks that are specific NASCAR. Like if you were to hit Dover at 1 mile per hour over in an IndyCar, you probably would get flagged. If you hit pit road at Indianapolis Motor Speedway a mile per hour over, you're probably not going to get flagged for a black flag. You still can, but chances are you probably won't. So it gives you a little chance to slow down there. So it really depends on the track of where you can push your limits.
You see Alex Van de Sand has lapped Shane Coogan, who's 4th right now, as they wait to pit. And I might have the answer for that question. I hate to bring it into the picture because we know how Gary feels. You know, it's a NASCAR sim. IndyCar's just on the back burner. As you know, NASCAR, they go by your average speed going down pit road. They do a time over distance type of math. I think that's how iRacing is set up too, because there's been times where I'm in a car and I go, I'm like, okay, there's no way I'm not speeding coming onto this pit road, and then all of a sudden I slow it down to like 20 mile an hour below the speed limit, and I end up okay. And I'm like, oh, all right, I got lucky here. I wonder if it's the same in an IndyCar. On here.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
That.
Yeah. Don't tempt me. Never do it.
Hey, can someone remove a black flag for me?
Hey, clear three. We don't clear black flag, sir. Alt F4.
Punch out.
Alex Van de Sand leads by 1.4 right now. 53 to go. And what has been a fantastic evening of racing here. We got more coming up for you here after the race. And we got a breast cancer awareness race. A driver I know pretty well, Travis Adzillo, is raising some money for a friend of his and a family friend that is battling breast cancer and stuff, and wanted to raise some money, and he called upon me to be a part of the race and to broadcast it. So we're going to go over to Talladega and host an Xfinity car, B car, as they call it in iRacing race, there after this. So look forward to that, and we'll have a link in case you're one that is a big supporter of that. You can donate some money to that, but that'll be coming up at about 9:35, so about an hour or so that race will start.
Yeah, if you're watching at home and you got a few extra bucks in your pocket, definitely give to that. One of my best IT bosses I ever have. She was a survivor, and frankly, if it wasn't for that, I probably would never had a chance to work with her. So if you get a chance to give some money to a well and worthwhile cause.
So waiting for the final round of pit stops here. As I mentioned, you got 3 cars on the lead lap. Dakota DeMay is the last one. And Alex Van de Sande and Isaac Morris will be the only 2. Now, of course, they are losing all types of track position, not positions itself, but time on the track.
Time. Yes.
With the long run they go here. But I think what they're doing is they're trying to, I think, wait on a certain thingy to get waving, which will trap this whole entire field a lap down, a la Sebastian Bourdais in Milwaukee a few years ago.
Hey, sometimes the gods sunshine on you right there. The racing gods do, and if they can do that, they'll trap everybody a lap down, and they'll just they'll slug it out between the 2 of them.
Does somebody like Gary know it's a night race?
Yeah, you know. I mean, Jake Blue saw the sign from God in a church, so.
Fair enough. I'll give you that.
Okay. But here he is. He's knocking on the door of Dakota right now.
Yeah, he's on his gearbox right here as we saw Max Williams go to pit road, and Dakota's going to give him the high line and let him go.
Yeah, Dakota's giving the radio, told him to take the high side. I think
now, from Dakota, yep, he's doing exactly what I'm thinking. Go to pit road. You get lapped, get to pit road now. I mean, you're going to lose 2 more laps, but
look at this. Now, look who's coming up on him. Now, it's not for position, and he's going to be lapped down
VOR
because
cars.
he got that speeding penalty. But here comes a very, probably angry and very fast on fresh tires, Gavin Sanders.
So, you think Alex and Isaac are playing monkey? Oh, Isaac's on pit road. I was about to ask, are they playing monkey see, monkey do here? You know, trying to who's going to pit first here?
I think each one is on their own schedule, what they want to do, and not surprised that Isaac is lasting as long as he does, because we do know that he's really good at making mileage. The only thing that's Gavin almost into the wall behind Alex there. Only thing that Alex is doing is that he's really losing time on really worn tires. He is currently 58 laps.
Easy, Isaac. Isaac was doing the 2-step on the apron down there. Now, I think Alex has to pit this time by, you would think.
Well,
because, I mean, he's going to lose 2 to 3 seconds a lap here. And if that's...
Oh, and he had a slow car there in front of him. Not sure who that was. That was Joseph. Okay, so he had to kind of check up for that. And now he has a car that just stopped, Dakota, and he's got fresh tires right now.
Well, Alex leads this thing in his last time by at 18.6. And we're going to watch Isaac. Isaac is 17.4 for Isaac last time. That's a second and a half.
Yeah, everybody around him is much faster.
18.4 that time by. Isaac is 17.5. And here comes Dakota on freshies. And Dakota goes by. So Dakota right now 9th, 2 laps down. And here comes Alex to pit road right now. So Alex Van de Sande looking to go 2 for 2 as he almost slides up on the track. That could have been scary.
Careful. That would have been right in front of a bunch of people too. But he's down. He's got it under the limit there.
Down pit road. And the old chili seasoning mix, of course. Hate to say this, with summer coming or summer here, you know, it's going to get cooler down the road here. Trying to kind of put you in the idea there, some chili.
That's really not chili season right now.
It's not there yet, but it's getting there.
Not there, yeah. It's getting close. This is when football starts up with tailgate.
That's usually how it is, right?
Yep.
Go to an IU football game or something like that. That's what you need to go with right there. As Oscar Fredrickson is going to inherit the lead, believe it or not, as he comes to pit road.
Hitting right now. That's going to give it to Morris. Isaac.
Yep, Isaac was able to do the undercut on Alex, and he's going to have about, let's see when it all updates here crossing the line. It's on a half second. as he puts a lap on Dakota DeMay.
But Isaac's tires are 7 laps older than Alex's.
So it is a half second.
Alex,
okay. Yep.
Alex is going to be able to reel him in probably midway through this run when the difference in tires is more evident.
35 laps to go.
It's going to go by quick here.
Yeah, they are going to fly by, and while it does fly by, let's really quickly want to take a look at we haven't had a chance to show this off here, the schedule for the Apex Sage Coaching IndyCar Series. Next week, we go to Road America for 45 laps. Or 2 weeks, I'm sorry. I feel like we were just there. 2 weeks from now, we'll be at Road America for round number 3 for the series after a week off. Good catch on that one, Gary. Then it's Pocono, and then there's a whole bunch of changes to the schedule that we'll have to update here. I know I don't know if I'm supposed to break that out yet, but I know Julian's been talking to me about some changes in the schedule, so we'll let you know when that happens.
I think it's been announced in the at least the league Discord. So,
okay.
If anyone wants to know what those changes are, if you're a member of the league Discord, find it in there. We'll just better safe than sorry instead of.
Now, something else I want to bring up real quickly. I didn't get a chance to talk about this, but there is a Euro Series for the IndyCar Series for VRR. As we, let's jump away from that and go
3 wide in turn 2. Wow.
Of course, I would do that right in the middle of the lead pass. There it is on the screen. Alex Van de Sande past Isaac Morris for the lead.
Yeah, so it's a Platinum Racing League, the PRL. And it's European-based, although I believe there are some people from North America that do run in it. Races, I believe, will be at 2 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah, I'm not
sure
of that part. But I know it starts up in September, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, Isaac almost got into the side of
Christian Alesio there.
Christian Alesio, yeah. But, majority road courses, and I think it has like 2 ovals, Indianapolis and Auto Club. So if you're watching this over from Europe and you're looking for a European league that runs on the weekends, check out the Platinum Racing League. Julian's kind of using it as a feeder for Velocity Online Racing, the bigger series.
Mm-hmm.
If you win there, the championship, you get a paid entry into the VOR season for the next season.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Seems like there's a lot of feeder leagues. I mean, even I'll bring up my league on Thursday nights, the one that I've started up, kind of a development series itself. Luke Daniels, one of your drivers, actually won the race this past week at Watkins Glen over in the TI series. He's one of your drivers and stuff, but that's one that, hopefully we can see some drivers develop and, give them the opportunity to go race at either VOR or over at TI, wherever they want to race and that kind of thing. Just looking... depending on what kind of floats their boat. If they like more of an oval dominant series, that would be this one. If you're looking more at the road dominant series, you're looking at TI. But and even the Formula Indy series is another option. So 3 great options, and I mean there's plenty of options out here. Great IndyCar series everywhere.
I actually run a beginner level IndyCar series. It's with NSRP Racing League, and we kind of just started off on the IR05 cars, and every season we'll kind of go up to something new.
Right.
And I find it's been very helpful to these drivers, because really it's the IndyCar driver going to NASCAR is not. They just kind of got to adjust their driving style really and get used to a heavier car with not as much downforce. However, the jump from NASCAR to IndyCar is a bit of a challenge, especially when you jump them into the IR05. It is just like a fighter jet. I mean, you got a cockpit surrounding you. You have a steering wheel that looks like a yoke. You have all these buttons. You have all these levers. You have all these digital readouts and everything that you don't typically have access to inside of a Cup car or even an Xfinity car. And it's a little overwhelming. So these beginner leagues are a good thing to kind of teach some of these people that aren't really seasoned IndyCar drivers on how to use the tools and how to read, how to use the weight checker and how to read the displays and that type of thing.
Battle for third just ended. Dakota DeMay getting by Julian Altina for third. So great run by the guy who's sponsoring this race tonight, the Sunset Arts and Graphics 200 here in Iowa. And Dakota May up to the 3rd position. Julian back to 4th. And we mentioned him a little bit ago. Shane Coogan running here in the 5th position tonight, doing a great job on his end. Now, I want to go back to the caution. That happened, it was about lap 30 or so, if I remember correctly, in this race here. We've now gone over 150 laps, almost caution-free. I want to go back to the guy that is running in the 8th position right now. And that is Cameron Bostian. Cameron stayed out, tried his strategy out. Was it the smartest move in the world? No. But here it is again. It looks like he has taken advantage and lucked out with this race going green.
Well, he might actually gain a couple positions because in front of him, Julian is 44 laps into his current stint. I don't think he might be able to make it to the end. I don't know. But Cameron's also on 29 laps on his current stint. Shane Coogan's 27 laps on his current stint. Can they make it to the end? I would imagine by this point in time they probably can.
Right.
They probably have done the math and think I can do this.
Max Williams there in the 10th position. He's a couple cars back here in the number 8 car, the YJ eSports car. I want to give him a shout out. Top 10 in his first effort, making a league debut with a team, and let's just say showing up at this track of all places.
Line Alex is running, especially through 3 and 4.
He's running that line that we talked about. Remember, it's the Alex line. He's trying to get up there on the top and run.
Now he's a lot lower this time. Last time
he's got a lap car in front of him.
He was riding the bumper.
Right. But Isaac 5.5 seconds back. I mean, that just shows you. I mean, 7 lap tires, and Alex has just said bye.
Yeah.
But
and really, it's going to take a yellow to group this field back up right now, or an unfortunate piece of bad luck to really. There it is, right there.
No way, right on cue. The Gary Godso yellow comes out, and not sure who it is for.
Oh, it's Coogan.
Oh,
it's Coogan.
Shane Coogan, the 6th place car, is backed into the fence, and we have our 2nd caution of the night. That's it. Only the 2nd caution of the night. And so
everybody's coming to pit road.
Yeah,
everybody's going to come to pit road here. They're not going to play games. They're not going to try to stay out and try to pretend they can lead the next 12 laps on really used tires. Everyone's going to come to pit road here.
We will show the wreck here in a second, but we're going to see how this all cycles out. And I was about to answer Jason Clark's question over here in chat where he said, have the top 2 only on the lead lap, or are they just yet to pit? No, they're the only 2 on the lead lap, as we've just seen our 2nd caution in 188 laps.
They are that much faster than everybody right now.
Well, and it's in handling, and there's just so many things going on. And this is very typical of a short oval race in IndyCar. You'll get races like this where 20, 25 cars are racing on a track like this, and all of a sudden, bada boom, you got multiple cars laps down and stuff,
Yep.
As Alex will come to pit road, he'll bring Isaac, I believe, with him.
Yeah.
I was going to say, this is, I don't think you have a choice here. I mean, you could try maybe some kind of deal, but when there's only, I mean, I guess if you're Isaac, you could maybe try something. Where's the worst you're going to finish? 2nd? I mean.
And also the fact that we are 10 laps from the end, all the lap cars will go behind and the pace car will pick up the leader.
Okay, so let's get this right here. So instead of the cars going behind the leaders, should we say the leaders will just be placed up front?
Yeah, so
there's only 2 cars. It's kind of like the big wreck. Who's not involved? That's this scenario.
Alex is taking a very slow off pit road.
Did he speed?
Don't know.
I mean, he took off out of his pit stall pretty quickly.
The position is Isaac's, though.
Oh my God! I think he sped. That would be the only reason Alex wanted to race off pit road. No lucky dogs, Jason. Not in IndyCar racing.
They got to earn it, Jason. They got to earn it.
as you can tell from those just joining us, Gary Godso here is an IndyCar guy. And nothing wrong with that. I have nothing to say negative about it. I mean, he has the right to his opinion and stuff. And we've had our talks about gimmicks and stuff, as I've joked with him about push to pass. But he's joked with us about you know, lucky dogs and wave arounds,
green,
and
white checkers.
green, white checkers, and what else?
So what will happen here is just to explain what IndyCar rules are. And is Alex coming back in, or is he coming low?
I bet he sped on pit road.
I would hate to think that he did something like that, but we will see. He is getting going to the back. So what's going to happen typically on the restart, pace car always picks up the leader. Your leader of the race is Isaac Morris, and then everyone will get waved around the pace car. And especially when you get towards the end of a race, then what happens is that if there's anybody on the lead lap, and you have lead lapped cars around you, the lap cars actually get sent to the back, and you get pushed forward, and then you get a direct contact with the car that you're in position or you're in battle for. So that's kind of what this is, that point in the race. Typically late, like 10 laps or less in an IndyCar race, that is when they typically send the lap cars to the back, and they bring the everybody on the same lap together so you can battle it out right there at the end. 9 laps to go there. We are still settling who's going to go where and everything. That's only working to Isaac's advantage right now.
Yeah, I mean, Isaac right now, if I'm seeing this the way I'm looking, Isaac is about to have the whole field between him and second place because of a speeding penalty, it looks like. You're going to see Dakota DeMay and David Porcelli take a wave around, it looks like, and get back onto the lead lap. And then all these cars in front of Isaac are going to take wave arounds here. So you're going to see, I think, Dakota, David, I think Julian's going on the lead lap here. I'm trying to see who all is in this pack here. But they're all going to take the old waves here. So
yeah, so it'll happen with 1 to green.
No, it's Oscar. Okay, not Julian.
This is very confusing.
It can be confusing. I wonder if they're going to throw an additional lap in here. Probably not. Looks like they're going to go for it here. So, and I can't confirm it because I don't have any kind of chat with any of the drivers, but I'm just going to assume Alex Van de Sant got a speeding penalty on pit road. So Isaac Morris is going to have roughly 20 cars between him and Isaac, or him and I'm doing it multiple times now. Isaac in front of Alex by multiple cars. Shout out to Anthony. I'm got to learn your last name, Anthony. I think it's Giuliano, who is the guy that set me up with all the graphics here, by the way, with the deal that we've worked out with his league, and we'll be talking about that here in the very near future.
Here we go. This is a very
slow
discombobulated restart.
Isaac Morris leads him to the green in a very Isaac Morris way, like wait for the green flag to come out. He's got 1.3 seconds over Isaac, who is about, or Isaac's got over Alex, who is about halfway through the field already. There's Alex right there. And there's Isaac up here. So
he has a long way to go.
And a short to get there.
There we go.
He's coming, though.
Down, yeah.
1.4. He's on his horn probably right now. Oh, that didn't help him.
Well, but Isaac's in clean air, and he has nobody around him.
Isaac just went
17.342
wow.
Purple. Yeah, that's closers be closing. That's what I call this right now. He just light tanks, fresh tires. He is laying down the big laps. Here's going to be another one right here. Here can be another one.
Not fast enough, apparently. Oh, there it is.
17.286. So even faster.
He does this on road courses, I thought. Isaac Morris, 4 laps to go.
17.169.
He's running qualifying laps. Two laps to go already. 17-second laps around here.
Time 17.374. So he's
a little slower, yep.
A little bit slower, but he just got to hit your marks now and finish this up, man.
As he comes off turn 4, he'll see the white flag, final lap this time for the driver.
Wow, that last caution really, really helped him.
It did, and he is going to be thanking his lucky stars, I think, when it's all over tonight. Unfortunately, though, for Alex, fortunate for Isaac, win number 1 of the season for Morris. In the Apex Stage Coaching Series, the Apex Stage car goes to victory lane. And Alex Van de Sant, who is probably going to be the unhappy person here tonight, finishing in the 2nd position, had a chance to pull the sweep of the first 2 races. Isaac, whoops, excuse me, moving over for another car there. As he will likely light him up. Or run laps around the
midget track,
track, the Legends
or the
track.
Legends track,
Legends Oval. That's another way of doing it. Meanwhile, Dakota's doing, well, he deserves to do, he's a sponsor, he can do burnouts.
I'm not quite sure why he's doing
Isaac's like, excuse me. Isaac's 7th career win, by the way, in the series. 2nd all-time, tied with Julian Altina. Of course, Alex is up to 9 already in series history. And just for records, that was 2 of Isaac's slowest laps of the race around that oval there. Congratulations, Tim. We're going to step away for a quick second. We'll come back. We'll talk to the top 3 drivers in the series and or in the race, I should say, and more. And that's all coming up here on Captain TV in the VOR IndyCar Series. All right, back here at the virtual Iowa Speedway here on iRacing. Appreciate everybody joining us this evening for the running of the Sunset Arctic Graphics 200 in the books tonight. And a little bit of a dramatic finish when it was all over with. It would look like Alex Van de Sant was on his way to starting 2 for 2 in this IndyCar Series season. However, a yellow flag comes out, and we believe, and we'll check with Alex as we talk to him here in a minute, a speeding penalty potentially coming out for Alex, and that handed the lead and arguably the win to Isaac Morris, who scores his first win of the season, becoming the 2nd winner in 2 races. So let's pull in the winner into victory lane here. If it lets me pull him in. There we go. Isaac Morris joining us. Isaac, obviously a very fortunate caution, a very fortunate break for you tonight, as you go to victory lane for the first time this season and your 7th career win.
I mean, yeah, honestly, I don't deserve the win tonight. That wasn't my win. Alex should have won that race, honestly. But something happened in the pit exit which just promoted me up. I know it is unfortunate what happened to Alex, but, you know, in my eyes, that I came 2nd tonight. I didn't win tonight's race. So yeah, Alex has got a whole new level in his back pocket, and we're all playing catch up with that at the moment. But yeah, it was a good race. Lap traffic was absolutely horrendous. Some people were driving like absolute bots. It honestly felt like trying to get around AI sometimes.
Wow.
I'm sorry to say it, but it's ridiculous. Some of the people that were fighting lead cars is ridiculous. You know, there's some people that were 3-4 laps down fighting a lead car, and I know if you're about to go a lap down, you can fight for that to stay on the lead lap, but as soon as you go that lap down, if they come around again, you've got to give up the position. yeah, you can't keep on fighting it. And people who kept on fighting it and risking other people's races is just ridiculous. And you know, I don't want to be here complaining all the time, but you know, this is the difference, you know, for a lot of people why they do and don't do league racing. And you know, it's just unfortunate that some people don't think when they're driving. But yeah, other than that, great race.
Well, let's look at the bounce back here. The positives, obviously, yeah, you can say what you want to say about Alex winning the race, but just like they always say in baseball, and I use this as an example all the time. You read the newspaper, it says you hit a home run. It didn't say that you hit the ball in the infield and somehow got around all the bases. But you won the race, and it's a bounce back after Auto Club where, unfortunately, you didn't even get a lap in before you were wrecked. That's going to help you at least points-wise.
Yeah, I mean, tonight's race, like, I was gonna settle for second, around about the 3/4 mark when Alex had such a hefty lead. I tried the undercut, and the undercut just didn't work because Alex on them fresher tires was just so quick. I just took a life out of them way too quickly.
Well, and I was just saying, you answered the question I was going to ask you there next was about the pit strategy and stuff. Because, I mean, did you feel like you had any kind of speed for Alex, even with the pit strategy, or was it just you needed a miracle like what happened?
I think there was like a 1% chance that I could have beaten Alex on the restart because me and him just fighting it out for that last what was it, 7 laps. It could have been interesting. There could have been heartbreak. There could have been a world of things that that could have happened. But the undercut wasn't or isn't as good as people thought it was, because if you go into the pit, you can end up being brought out with lap traffic, and you just lose all that momentum that you could have built up over the time that the other guys stay out. But yeah, pit strategy was quite crucial. Staying on the lead lap was very crucial tonight, and just making sure that the car was there to the end is another thing that was part of the strategy. I wasn't really trying to race people too hard in general, but just wanted to make sure that I was there at the end. So yeah.
Well, great job this evening. Shout out to whoever you like to, bud.
Give a shout out to Gary for putting me in the car this season. I'm gonna kiss ass right now and say how much of a great boss he is, and how much he inspires the team to do well week in, week out. It's always good to have someone in your ear, motivating you, and Gary does that. So yeah, he does a good job. I'd like to give a shout out to Apex Age Coaching as well. Title sponsor for VOR, so it's pretty good. Apex Age getting a win tonight, against some of the best IndyCar drivers, especially Alex being up there with a really good IndyCar team. So yeah, just shows what we're capable of. And yeah, I'd give it like to give a shout out to the VOR boys as well, and Velocity Online Racing for allowing me to sponsor their the season. So yeah, I think that's about it. And I'm spent, so I'm gonna go
drink a Monster.
go sleep.
Yeah, go sleep.
So yeah.
All right, man. Nice job. Congratulations on your win, bud.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Congrats, man.
Isaac Morris on the win, 7th of his career, tied for 2nd now all time. And let's get the unfortunate man from the whole deal. Usually one man's treasures, another man's lost, unfortunately, and that's going to be Alex Van de Sande. Alex, asked the obvious question. Obviously, didn't have any kind of input or anything on my end. I could only take a guess that said you sped on pit road.
Nope. Pit exit was closed.
Oh, so that's
Yep.
a whole nother twist to it.
Yep, it's dumb. It's broken in iRacing. It's just a little piece of red text that says pit exit closed. So There's no real warning. Crew chief doesn't notify you. You can't set it up. It's broken. iRacing needs to fix it. My fault still. Should have known that it would be closed, but yeah, is what it is. Fought back as best I could, but couldn't quite get there.
Well, you definitely showed you had the fastest car tonight. You had the best strategy, and obviously a 1-2 so far to start your season off. Obviously just missing it by one step tonight, but it's still a great start to backing up that championship run.
Yeah, I'll absolutely take P2. It's just, what could have been. I was so close. It was going to be a great battle between Isaac and I if we were like right together for those last 10 laps or whatever. But yeah, I'll take second. Really good start to the season. Hopefully I can, keep up that momentum still.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations on P2, and shout out to whoever you like to, bud.
Yeah, big thanks to lmcgear.com as always, as well as Happy Trails Chili Company, VOR and Julian for putting on an awesome, super competitive league, and you at Captain TV for doing this broadcast.
Absolutely, man. No problem. My pleasure as always, and I'll be sure as we get towards, as we were just talking about on the air a little bit ago, Alex, football season's getting near, which means it's going to start getting cooler, which means that chili comes into play. So I'm going to have to do some Happy Trail buying on Amazon, which you could do. And bring it home to me and have to try it out down here in Georgia so I can attest to it. So looking forward to it.
Cool.
Absolutely. Good job, man. Congratulations. Sorry about your luck, but great job.
Yep. Thanks, fellas.
Absolutely. You too. And that is Alex Van de Sant. As we've learned tonight that there is that little box. And in his fairness, it is small. It says right there, pit lane closed, and it's small.
He said pit exit was closed.
Right. So basically what that means is all the cars were still coming around as he was going to leave the pits, and by that it closes the pit exit until everybody clears around.
So you have to
Another
hold.
NASCAR thing.
You have to hold until all the cars pass.
Right. And then
before, okay.
It's a NASCAR thing. Sorry.
Thanks, NASCAR.
Here is what is this? Dakota Most Poles DeMay, who finishes in the third position. That's according to his Discord page right here, right? Dakota.
He's Velocity Online Racing's gas man.
Or
that's about right. I've been racking up. I had most poles last season, so I wanted to flex on that. So
are you the willpower of the series?
Tom Sneva is
still Tom Sneva.
I'm still Tom Sneva.
Nice. Well, great third place run for you, man. You did a great job representing the graphics tonight, and obviously Sunset Arctic Games and graphics. Great job this evening. Third place run for you.
Yeah, that was a crazy night. I had my bad luck paint on, and it was just a gladiator. It was a gladiator fight through the whole race. It was just wheel-to-wheel action the whole way through, battling up the field and through the pack and through lap cars, and it was crazy how everything all worked out in the end. And I can't believe I got third actually. So.
Yeah, it was a battle for you because considering you started, up front, really. I mean, you were up near the front the whole entire time. You fell back into about 10th or so in that range, and then slowly just kind of worked your way back up.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of up and down, and just trying to, manage your tires and trying to manage the undercut and overcut for a bit. So
that's what I was getting ready to ask. I mean, what did you learn anything from when Reddit was here a couple of weeks ago? You kind of had that. You kind of had that huge lead, and all of a sudden your tires went off, and then you were kind of crap for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I learned everything from that race.
Okay.
That was
all right. I was
so
wondering about that. Yeah.
And that was a game changer. Without that, I would have just killed my tires again. And there, you could see it with a lot of other cars too. They didn't know how to manage their tires, and they would drop back quite a bit. So
traffic that bad as Isaac and. Well, I guess Alex
really
didn't say traffic was bad, but Isaac said lap traffic was bad. Was lap traffic really that bad?
Like I said, it was a gladiator fight, man. It was just the lap cars were keeping the high line, which is usually what you would do on most ovals, but on this one you want the high line because it's faster, and so it's harder to pass them low. And even when you're at a tire advantage, it's still kind of difficult at times. So. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was a gladiator fight. You had to push past to get past everyone.
Well, it was a fantastic race for you, and congrats on your third place run, and keep up that momentum. We'll talk again near future, and any updates, by the way, while we're here about your new game that's going to be coming any minute?
I got a lot of updates on that. So, Echo Blade will no longer be coming to early access. Instead, we'll be doing a full release, full game release in November.
Okay.
So you can check that out on Steam. You can wishlist it now. And you get notified when it comes out in November, and you can play it. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. A puzzle action dungeon explorer with the mechanic of echolocation. So
wow.
It's really unique to check out, and it's awesome to get a podium at the race I'm sponsoring too. So another shout out to Sunset Arctic Graphics. I do iRacing paints and other graphic materials for leagues and even websites. So if anyone needs paints or graphics websites, reach out to me.
Yeah, make sure you do. He's a great gentleman. He does great stuff on his the hero cards. I've gone blank in my head with the name of the cards. Hero cards, and just so many great things. The graphics look awesome and stuff. As a matter of fact, we got the where Julian sent it to me. He sent me a graphic that I had of the photos that you guys do with all your work and stuff, from the car paints and things like that. I guess while you're here real quickly, why don't you go ahead and talk about that for a quick second, and where they can get a hold of you if they want to do that.
You can reach out to me on Twitter at sunarc_graphics. You can go to sunsetarcticgames.com and you can reach out to me there through the contact form, and then you can add me on Discord as well. Chops number 7753.
There you go. Make sure you add him. There's all the information, what he does there on the screen, from the delivery designs to hero cards to custom logos, branding, all different types of stuff, as he helps out with, of course, Matt Houston's Formula Indy series and all that good stuff. He helped out on my end personally, and he's been a lot of fun to work with. And I don't know, I've all of a sudden had an idea of maybe painting some kind of a yellow rookie striped car for me in a special race I'm running here in the very near future, Gary.
Ooh, okay.
You get where I'm going with this.
I might not be running that race, so but it's good that you're letting people know you're a rookie.
Yeah, right. As I knock my headphones off my head for some reason. Anyways, we go from there. So Dakota, nice job tonight, bud.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm wondering how I knocked my headphones off my head just now. All right, we're gonna head out, and we're gonna head to another broadcast from my end. Gary, we appreciate your time, man, and of course the booth is always always open until you get yourself updated with a wheel and stuff, and we look forward to maybe talking to you next week or 2 weeks from now at Road America, and we'll definitely be in the booth come next Tuesday night, or we'll be in the booth sometime in the near future. Like
yeah, it looks like this Tuesday coming will be Indy.
Right.
I might be spot for folks there. Looks like my first race back, if I get my wheel back, it's going to be Road America. It's going to be awful, but we'll see. But thanks for having me. It's always good to be here. Good to promote the league. Good to talk to all the fans watching from home. So thanks a lot. Thanks for having me, and everyone have a great night.
Absolutely. There you go. So that is from Gary Gonsa. We'll be back here in a few minutes. We're going to be switching over to another broadcast link. You'll see it right there on the website there on the YouTube page. So if you want to join us for that special races, we raise awareness for breast cancer awareness. We would love for you to be a part of it. So come and join us for that. And as always, we head out. Thanks to VOR for allowing us to broadcast the series. All the sponsors, of course, of the league. Big shout out to Alex and Isaac. Great racing tonight from those guys, and also from the rest of the field, and Julian and all the guys for allowing us to broadcast this series. And as I always like to say as we head out, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. You guys enjoy your Saturday night. See ya.
Myself forward and let it get this far. I'm not
Get strong.